When you say
Mhm.
grow a brand, you're talking 3 to 700 different brands every month that you're helping grow their brand. What does that actually mean to you, and what does that mean to your clients?
For sure. So when I use the word grow or growth, right, I'm referring to helping them gain more authority in their niche or industry. And what that means is that naturally, when we look at an Instagram account or any social media account, we have a complete perception of them based off their followers, their content, and engagement rate, right? And when I say grow, that means we are expanding in one of those avenues. Usually, and more specifically, I'm referring to followers, because naturally, if we look at an account that has 10K plus followers versus an account that has 500, we automatically assume that the one with 10K plus has more credibility, has more influence, have worked with more clients, right? And we lean more towards that account. We're much more likely to work with them. A great example of that is if you get DM'd, right, and someone's prospecting, you get DM'd by three different accounts. Let's just say one has 500 followers, one has 20K, and one has 300K followers. Who are you more likely to respond to? Who are you more likely to start a conversation with? Who are you more likely to follow back and engage with? It's all a psychological game. We're shifting to a digital era. Branding is so important with COVID and all these other pandemics that could pop out of nowhere, right? We never know when we only have our social media, right, to get in contact with the clients. And that's our business card, right? That's our perception online. So it's very important we take care of that. And that's what we do with our clients. We help them brand them the right way, help them outshine their competitors, stand out from their competition, grow organically on the platform, and take advantage of the algorithms. So, yeah.
And hey, let's dig into some of this. So I know I really like the way you said Instagram is like the digital business card.
Mhm.
Would you say Instagram is the is that the key? So if someone's listening here, it's like, all right, I got to start with Instagram because other people might say TikTok or YouTube or
For
Facebook or
sure.
LinkedIn or I guess it depends on the goals or the objectives of the client. But can you speak to which platforms make the most sense and how do you make sense of
Mm.
each of those platforms?
Great question. So Instagram is the best platform in terms of networking and, for it to be your actual business card. Because nowadays, when we ask people, right, to share their contact or to get their number, one of the first questions isn't what's your YouTube or what's your TikTok or what's your Facebook. It's almost always what's your Instagram. So that's usually the first social media platform that comes up. And when we're communicating with someone, that perception of your Instagram is going to make a huge difference on how they look at you, how seriously they take you, and so forth, right? And they could not be taking you seriously at all. Then suddenly, when they see that you're verified or something crazy, you have 100K plus followers, they're going to look at you completely differently. They're going to treat you completely differently, and so forth. And Instagram's just is the main way that I generate most of our income, right, with our companies. But TikTok and YouTube, I definitely wouldn't forget about those. If you're really trying to build a brand and gain a real organic audience, those are great platforms. TikTok's probably the best platform for gaining an organic audience fast and gaining mass exposure fast and gaining influence. Now, you may not be able to monetize that right away like you could with Instagram, but it's still a great way to build an organic audience. So if you're looking to really make an impact, right? TikTok is the way to go. The algorithm will naturally match your content up with the type of content that you engage with, and it will naturally adjust to the people that are engaging with your content. And vice versa with YouTube, right? That's a great platform as well to start building subscribers on, and it's a high value platform. So these brands, like it could be Doritos or any entrepreneur real estate companies that want to partner with influencers or anyone, in general, and they're looking for brand partnerships. YouTube is actually the highest paying platform. What I mean by that is that when you have a million subscribers, you're going to get paid a lot more than someone with a million followers in most cases, right? So it's actually very valuable to have subs on YouTube because those subs are very loyal, right? So when you have a million people on following on Instagram, not all of them are probably going to engage with you. Not all of them probably even know who you are. They may have just saw you in the Explorer, but with YouTube, usually the subs are much more fan based and much more engaging and so forth, which makes a big difference on how much you get paid out and the value of that asset of itself. And, I've gotten to the point where I built up my Instagram to a point where, it's a cash flow machine for me. But now I want to gain more influence over more people and I want to really get my brand out there organically and get mass exposure. Best platforms are going to be TikTok and YouTube for that. If you're looking to, pick a platform to build your business on, I definitely recommend start off with Instagram, move towards TikTok, and then eventually get to YouTube. So that's kind of the order of importance that I would say.
And many of our audience is not looking to necessarily monetize their brands per se,
Hmm.
like to grow their subscriber list. It would probably be more so to expand their reach, so that way more people know they exist. So it's just
For
the
sure.
marketing component for social. So if that is the intent, if the intent is to get more people, more eyeballs on my digital business card, um, there's a lot of people that will say, yeah, I'll help you get that blue check mark, or they'll buy like a bot or someone that will just get you a bunch
Hmm.
of followers or something like that. But you
Hmm.
use the word organic, and that's a key
Hmm.
component here, where it's not just like, let me just go get a bunch of bots to follow me, or whatever it might
Hmm.
be. Or so how might someone expand that organic reach for
Hmm.
those three platforms that you just said: Instagram, LinkedIn, or Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok?
For sure. So, as I mentioned, Instagram probably has the worst algorithm for growing organically, unfortunately, because their algorithm naturally suppresses the poor and favors the rich. And because Instagram's such a high value platform, people are dumping all this money into it to try to stand out from their competitors and so forth. Instagram and Meta specifically, who runs Facebook and Instagram, are very aware of this, right? So they've set a lot of different restrictions and punishments for anyone that they see cutting corners. So you have to be very careful with moving with Instagram, right? Again, with TikTok, though, if you are using simple hashtags like hashtag for you page and different hashtags that align with your post, you could have Instagram's not like this at all. This is what's crazy. On TikTok, you could post your first video and get a million views on it organically. Instagram, that's never going to happen. Instagram takes time. It's a compound effect. You got to spend a lot of time on it. Right now, the algorithm on Instagram is favoring reels. So, your best bet is if you post reels with trending sounds. And that's how it is with all these platforms: trending sounds, trending hashtags. That's what you got to aim for. Match your content with what's trending, right? And if you get really lucky, you create your own trend, and that's how you really go viral, right? But if you want consistent amount of views, match with the trends, and it's a game. You got to learn to play it. Social media is a game, and these people who are gaining hundreds of thousand followers every single week, they just figured it out. They know what catches eyeballs. They know how these algorithms work, and so forth. And just because let's just say your average demographic of client is let's just say that they're 40 years old, right? That doesn't mean you shouldn't use TikTok because that demographic isn't there, right? They actually are there. They're hiding behind the scenes. I can guarantee that. And another thing is that we're living in a digital era where the people now, right, the people that are 30 now that are on TikTok all the time, right, they're going to be 40 eventually, right? And they are getting most of their leads from TikTok. So you have to go from the long term play. So it's best to establish it while the algorithm's working very well now, because I can guarantee this: these algorithms will get harder and harder to grow on. As everyone thinks that they can be a content creator, it's naturally going to suppress the new people that come on. TikTok's fairly new right now, and that's how it's the best platform for getting that type of exposure on. YouTube Shorts are trying to compete with TikTok, that's why YouTube Shorts are being favored by YouTube, and vice versa with Instagram Reels. But yeah, I mean, it's all about getting your product or brand in front of as many eyeballs as possible and many touch points as possible, right? And trust me, it can make a difference, even if it's just referrals. Because when you're giving people free value, right? The law of reciprocity, they naturally want to give you something back in return. So if you keep giving people free advice and free value, whatever it may be, right? Naturally, they're going to follow. They're going to feel like they owe you something. So then, when you launch a mini course, or then when you launch a smaller ticket product, or if you're looking for a referral program, they're going to be like subconsciously incentivized to give you something in return, even though you may have not, theoretically given them anything money wise, discount wise, or so forth.